Hey, hi YouTube, hi everyone on my blog, because that's probably how most people who see this at first will find it. Uh, Thank you for watching my first video. My name's Cassidy. If you haven't found this from my blog or my YouTube channel, I'm a male to female transsexual. I've been full-time for 9.5 months, and I've been on hormones for just under 3 years, about 2 years and 9.5 months. Um, those 9.5 months that I've been full-time living as myself have been absolutely wonderful. The process before that of getting to be full-time, the about 3.5 years, was a really challenging period for a number of reasons, which I will talk about in future videos. For this first video, I kind of wanted to introduce myself and explain why I'm doing this, what the purpose is of this video and the future videos, and just kind of help you kind of see kind of where I was, where I've been, and where I'm going, hopefully. So as I said, I've been full-time 9.5 months, and it's been great. I love finally getting to be who I am, a girl, Cassidy. It's one of my friends put it really well. She said that she wakes up stupid happy every day. Um, I don't know if I wake up stupid happy. I guess half of that anyway. I'll leave it to you to guess which half. But it's just such a nice feeling not to have to think about who you are constantly, to just be. I can't put it any way other than that. It's really great to just get to be myself. For most of my life, I hated myself, and I don't hate myself anymore. I like myself, and I like who I've become, and I like who I'm going to become. Transitioning is a journey. Mine is far from over. It's really just getting started. And unlike the past, I can't wait to see what's coming up. So part of that, journey and part of transitioning is you learn a lot about yourself when you transition. That same friend that I mentioned earlier said something really wise when I first started, when she reached out to me and kind of became my first, really the first person I talked to right after I started my blog. She said that transitioning is 75% mental and 25% physical, and that is so true. The mental aspect, mental and emotional aspect, is just so important, and I'm really glad that I made it a point to focus on it. That being said, there are still some things that I need to work on. I will touch on those more in future videos. But for now, there are two that I'm going to talk about in this video. For various reasons, after I decided to transition, I went from being in the best shape of my life when I started transitioning to, I hate to say it, I was in kind of the worst physical shape of my life at the beginning of this year. It started to change a little bit, and then for a couple of reasons that I'll talk about more later. Primarily a project, on top of my crazy job, I wanted taking on a project to help out my sister, who's been incredibly supportive, kind of the one person in my family who's stood by me from the moment I told her, along with my nephew, her son. She asked me to help with the project, and I took it on even though I really didn't have time to do it. That's a bad habit that he had, and it's one that unfortunately I was still doing. Part of transitioning is learning to let go of things that don't serve a purpose, and in my case, I was putting everyone first all the time. And about halfway through doing this project for my sister, I realized, what are you doing? you know, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. Yeah, you can help her, but anyway, another time I'll talk about it. But I vowed at that moment things were going to change. Um, and I'm happy to say that they are. I decided once I finished that project, and it took about another month, I vowed, again, doing something that that friend I mentioned earlier told me, that it was time to start focusing on myself. Not in a bad way, but in a positive way. And her advice was pick one thing and just work on that. One positive thing that you're doing just for you. And by doing that, other good things will start to happen. And the one thing that I picked was getting back in shape, which is really important to me. And the way that I chose to do it was running, which I had sort of done before, but didn't really know what I was doing a long, long time ago. But this time I did it for real. I used the Couch to 5K program, which for those of you who don't know it, is a program that takes you from basically not being a runner at all to being able to run 5K or 3.1 miles in 9 weeks. And I'm happy to say that as of Friday, 2 days ago, I completed the program. Yeah, so I'm a runner. Who knew? I'm really, really happy that I did it. I'm really proud that I did it. I love running. It's so much fun. Just such a great stress reliever. I'll talk more about this again in future videos, but uh, it, it's just been great. I'm so happy that I'm doing it, and I'm so happy that I get to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going. My goal is 10K next. Again, I'll talk about that in another video. Uh, uh, so that's one challenge that I'm doing, and now that I've kind of gotten that going, the next one, and it's kind of something that I think most people who are in my position probably, it's not something very common. Um, so I've been full-time for, as I said, 9.5 months, but I can count on one hand the number of times I've gone out wearing makeup on one hand. For I just have not been very comfortable learning makeup or wearing makeup. It's kind of complicated, and again, we'll kind of address this more in the future. But long story short, I realized, when you're trans, you spend a lot of time hiding. And I spent a lot of time hiding before I finally came to terms with who I was and decided I wasn't going to live a lie anymore. One of the things that happens is you have to learn to let go of things. Behaviors that may have helped you before you became yourself, but that don't help so much afterwards. And one of mine was hiding. And on one of my walks before I started running, I realized that by not knowing how to wear makeup and not going out wearing makeup, I'm still hiding because I'm not really showing the world, myself. I'm not necessarily presenting myself to my my best advantage, I guess. I can't think of a better way of putting it. But well, that's going to change. And unlike running, which I was able to start and carry on with just with my own motivation and not needing any outside prodding, makeup I think might be a little bit different. So how am I going to hold myself accountable? This is how I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to do videos and say, you know what? I'm going to show myself in progress, is work in progress, I guess. And say, there you go. You're going to back out now? Well, let's see how you do. hopefully that will kind of light a fire under, I was going to say light a fire under my butt, but I'm Irish, so I don't really have a butt. I guess metaphorically speaking. So, so stay tuned in the weeks to come, and you can get to see my progress if you're interested. So, on that note, rather than, this is the second time I've done this video. The first one I did was like 22 minutes. I've done a lot better this time. It's just over 10 minutes. Hopefully this is somewhat coherent. Thank you for sticking with it and watching it. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more to come. And have a good day or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Thanks. Bye.